Recorded live on the Gulf side, Scotty does a show with guest Matt Pack. Plus, news and more. And now, the man behind the skateboard cam, Scott Marion.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Things look a little bit different here. I've been off for a little while, and now you know why. And now we know, even though Cleveland will always be my home and where I'm from, always be the tribe to me too. If, as a person and as an artist, if you don't reach out and explore and expand, progress, you're not going to grow. And here, coming to you at Tarpon Springs, Florida, Tarpon Springs Tattoo Company in particular, which is going to be my new home soon. Again, I've been quiet about a lot of things, some project things I have going on, and in the last few months, I've made a decision to listen. A lot of you have been telling me for a long time that it would be in my best interest to take my skills and my gift and learn how to create tattoos. Not just on paper, which I've done many of those, and it's been a lot of fun. You guys have been great with that, and I've done designs and handed them off to a lot of beautiful and amazing artists like my guest here. But I get to learn how to do it from that point. And when somebody that I know and love and trust, that I go back to, we just realized 3 decades in September, who was the first art student that I met that made his living as an artist and never stopped. When that person reaches out to me and says, you know what, I got something for you because you got something, and they give me the feedback that they give, it's time for me to listen. A lot of the things on the fringes the last couple of years, some project things, of course, the Thirst, which is my personal passion project. That thing is going along even faster. I'll always be involved with those types of projects. I get to immerse myself in art now, telling stories. And part of my art is doing promo videos and things like that, which I've had a great time doing. And I'm proud to say that I've accepted a position at Tarpon Springs Tattoo as I'm learning how to create the beautiful art that they do here. I will be handling promotions, social media, all that fun stuff that I've never set out to be good at or learn how to do, but I've become pretty darn good at. This place is a very special place and a very special town with some incredible artists. I know I've said it already, but most importantly, there's an energy here that you guys get to come experience. And I'm going to make this my home soon, and I'm get to promote the hell out of it and really have some fun and do everything I can to get you guys to come down and experience this. It's great. Along with that, even bigger news, or not even bigger news, but to go along with that, Fighting Shape, which I've been quiet about, I even found a gym 2.5 miles away from here. Tarpon Springs Total Fitness. Fighting Shape's coming there soon. The owner, his name's John. We're going to be doing some great stuff there. I'm looking forward to that too. But the driving force to come down here was my guest here today. I knew him as Todd when I met him 3 decades ago, but he's dropped that and gone by his first name, which is, yeah, we both had hair then. We look like that. We don't look like that anymore, but again, I throw the word respect is the easiest way to put it. And Matt is a senior artist. Matt's been, how many years have you been tattooing? Over
25.
Yeah, over a quarter century. And again, when somebody that has that kind of experience and that kind of personal, I mean, I've been known as being a little bullheaded, but there's some people that I will listen to. And I can't thank you enough. Matt here has been running the shop with Lisa. Again, you guys are going to see some videos from her too. I spent the weekend here really being able to feel what this place is all about. Shot the very first time-lapse video ever here. And not just to feel, I mean, it's beautiful. Of course, the weather's going to be great, but to feel what's going on in here. The energy, the fun, the vibe from not just the artists and the employees, but the clients, the neighbors. It's a great place. So without further ado, a guy who I go back 3 decades, and he's the, you open the door, I get to walk through it, that's true. Mm-hmm. But an inspiration and in my life, and also an inspiration, one of the characters in The Thirst, longtime guest, can't thank you enough to be here, Matt Pack. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Again, thank you for everything. Long story short, I mean, tell me, you've been here for about a year, roughly, a little less than a year?
Around there.
And from the minute you got here, you were talking about how this place is special, and you've been around, obviously you've been in the business for 25 years. What is it about Tarpon Springs Tattoo Company that if you can sum it up, that is different than what you've experienced?
The artists. The shop is a very genuine shop. Each artist completely owns their space, and that's their vibe, that's the energy. It's a very high vibe energy shop. We're a local shop as well as a tourist shop, so we have the best of both worlds. A small community, it's a tight-knit community. We like this, we respect this. It's all something we're part of here. Everybody in the shop respects the importance of the shop and the location of what it is. We have the best of both worlds here, and we respect our home, and that's what it is a home.
There's a real energy here, and you weren't kidding about that. I've been in so far fewer shops than you have, but I've been in a few, and this is by far the most welcoming, by far. And again, not just from you and the other employees and the other artists, but the customers, the clients. Yep. I met some folks last night that live in Lorain. That's 10 miles from where I live. It's and
over 1,000 miles away.
Who would have guessed that? And they couldn't have been any nicer and had any more fun, and most importantly, had some great work done.
Oh yeah,
they loved it, and it was
soul painting.
Yeah,
good stuff.
You know, a big question I guess I have for you is, in your experience during that time, obviously having that energy where you're comfortable, what would you say would be one or a couple things that's technology or something that's changed and just made it? I saw you with the wireless gun over the weekend, and you talked about how we're a little old school, but it was a little bit of a challenge for you to go overcome. But if there's anything other than that really changed changed the game, for lack of a better term, what if anything, or a couple things that you can think of that's made the biggest advances in tattooing since you started?
Oh, well, I mean, internet is profound. The availability the artists have off the internet and the exposure. And even anymore, like people, like from back in the day, you always had to have portfolio pictures. People don't even carry portfolios, anything anymore. It's You're
right, we did.
Your social media. It's just your social media. And a lot of that is, I mean, that's good, but, a lot of tattooing is word of mouth, and that special small knit community is building yourself up and building the people through your energy and what you do. Everyone can follow everybody and see something on the internet, but and we want to be on that. We're going to be putting information and education out for our shop there, and we want to use it as a platform for everybody to understand why this shop is so special. But you don't want to get lost in all that. You want to keep it genuine with your community. You want to keep a good rapport, and that's very important. That's your cores as a business, and that comes first. Yeah. And that's where it's at. Like I've said before, it comes down to family, friends, art, music, in that order. For me, that's how it falls in the shop, or family, and we'll keep it all that up.
Well, you mentioned community, and again, in the short time that your neighbors here, you showing me around here because you've been in the same building here, or in the same plaza. We walked maybe a quarter mile up and down the street here, and there is a real, especially as a guy, I've worked retail, I don't know how many years, I couldn't tell you the names of 2 employees that worked across the street, and when I worked on Rodeo Drive, that's not the case here. No. You know this guy's name and their name over here, and they're waving at you. The burger joint down the place. I mean, that's a real thing, and you're right. And that gets back into, for lack of a better term, you could reach out and touch that and feel that. Right. Having that community here is different, and it's, I said this to you before. It almost feels like an island within itself. Which is really neat.
Place. It is. Yeah. It's a very nice little local area where local Floridians, they come here to get away. They enjoy this place as a tourist place a lot, and it's kind of off the maps, but its location is beautiful. You can't ask for much more.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And as far as the the clients, obviously they come from all around the world and stuff. Yeah. But local, your artists, are most of them, they're from the area here too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Jay, he's from up West Virginia. Okay. But he moved down here a little while ago. But we're all here now.
There are quite a few immigrants, kind of, I feel like a better term, or although I've been nomadic in my life, and I know you have too. But there's almost like kind of like the land of the misfit toys. Everybody kind of comes together.
Everybody comes to Florida. No one's from Florida. Yeah.
Very few. Although I met a few people when we were out shopping today.
Lisa, she's from here, her whole life.
No kidding.
Born and raised. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's.
But that gives it diversity.
Like Alex, she's from.
She's from Florida here. Yeah.
Florida here too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Alex is from Florida.
Yeah. You've got some real talent here too.
Yeah. I'm real happy with what I have in the shop.
Like if you have. We've all dealt with egos. If ego, because of the feeling and the vibe and everything you have here, what I don't see is that. I see creativity, but I don't really see competition, and I like that. When you have that kind of energy and again, I can talk about this as a combat coach, where if I've got somebody in the room who has all the talent in the world, but it's all about them, and they take away from the athletes I have in the room. That's the Barry Bonds syndrome. You have this guy who's going to hit 60 home runs, but he's a jackass to the rest of the team. You're going to win a certain amount of games with that. Is it worth it? When you, in every outlet, you're going to have that, even in art and creativity. When you have that type of artist or that type of environment, because you've worked at some of the biggest shops in the world, when you have that kind of cutthroat, crazy environment, how do you, as a seasoned artist and as a manager, as somebody that runs shops, how do you handle ego problems when you get it, if you do? Or do you try to, are there ways you do to avoid it ahead of time? But sometimes it's inevitable. When you have things like that, disruptions in the frequency, how do you handle that?
It's really not all that difficult once you really learn how to look at things and separate your emotions. You can just kind of look at things and say, this is the vibe that's not hit in this spot. This area is doing this. So you just question, why is this doing it? And not so much question it, but just watch it and let it mature itself, and it will tell you what's going on. Most of our artists are aligned here. We are all aligned at this point in time.
I feel that.
This shop is, we are on the page right now. And the last little bit here, that major changes is happening in the shop, and a shop gets to a point when it starts coming together, and we are a new young shop with new ownership, new management, and it's a new path that we're cutting out. Finding this path and watching it grow when it hits that path is the fertilizer we need. It's great.
Exciting.
The energy is just going. People are running with it now, and we're encouraging that. Like I said, the artists own their space, and we let them, and we encourage that. The artists staying happy, and they're being cohesive. We don't tear each other down. We pick each other up. We know each other at this point in time, and we know our game. If we see something happening, we know we have procedures set up, and we lift things up. We find out why, You know, we come to it together and we see, you know, usually it's nothing major. Everybody at this point in time is so professional. It's
good.
You know, I haven't seen nothing I had to even think about for a good while. So
good
when
feeling.
you have that going and the consistency and you stay so busy and with everybody being so procedure oriented, you know, the game is consistent. And that's what you want, is that consistency, and the consistency and the proper procedures from people coming in to get their appointments. And that's how you get an appointment, is you come into the shop. Do we do walk-ins? Absolutely, we'll do a walk-in. If it's something we can get done that day at the best of its ability with the time frame that we have, you know, if it aligns, we're aligned. We'll make it happen, you know, and that's the way it goes.
You talked about procedure, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, you know, of course, I could talk about combat all day. If you don't have procedures, you're going to get hurt.
Absolutely.
As far as, I mean, you were right. There's a real, for lack of a better term, I keep saying energy. But as an artist, we can create with determination. We're going to get through it, figuratively, with a gun to our head, with a deadline, things like that. Or we can create through inspiration. And the latter is what I've seen here, and it's infectious, which is great. On that note, I mean, you're talking about, you know, procedures and stuff. If I was, which again, I'm not new to art, but I'm new to the procedures of tattooing, and I don't have any tattoos yet, but that's going to change. It gets to, no matter what.
Yeah.
If I didn't know you, didn't know anything about tattooing, saw this video, got excited to come down here, what advice would you give me as a new client? Scenario number one, I'm a talented artist coming in with my drawing, and I want you to put it blah. Scenario number two, I don't know anything about anything, I just want you to give me a tattoo.
It's really no different.
Really? Okay.
Really no different. Either way, you have to come in and talk to an artist. Either way, you have to come in visually. If you do not come into the shop and visually and get the energy and the vibe of the shop, you're not giving the shop the proper chance. If you're just calling shop up and wanting a quote and doing this, and you know, that's not being fair to yourself or to a shop. To get the best energy and the best read of what you want and the abilities and what procedures need to be taken to get what you want, is to come in and talk to the artist and be patient. Listen to what they have to say, listen to what their advice is. And you can use that consultation, it's free. You can go to another shop and see if they handle you with the same procedures, the same care, the same thoughtfulness, you know. There's a list of things that each artist wants to know before they paint your soul. So you should go into the shop and see the shop personally, meet the artist, and get to know the artists on social media. Not as get to know them, but see what they do and see what appeals to you, what their style is. We have artists in the shop, they own their spaces. They own their spaces because they each have something to offer. Someone can come through that door and I could look at it and say, man, I can do that piece. I've done it 1,000 times. Wait a minute, Alex, she could do that tighter than me. That's her thing. She likes to do that. She enjoys that. So I'm gonna put that art over to Alex, because she enjoys it so much, her energy is going to show through that artwork, saying, hey, this is me.
Do you kind of feel yourself as, instead of a manager, which has a lot of kind of negative, I have had that title before too, and that can be, some people can see that as almost standoffish sometimes. Do you feel yourself as more like a director? Meaning, obviously you don't have an infinite amount of space, so you can only have so many artists at a time. So as somebody who is directing the artists and things that are coming in, if you've got 3 or 4 of the same style of artists, and they're not able to be, they don't bend very much as far as this is what I do and that's only it, do you look for artists with different looks and styles to say, for that exact reason? Because if somebody comes in looking for something graffiti and abstract, and all you have is photorealistic artists, obviously you want to be able to find somebody to do you feel yourself more like that?
For yourself to be an artist and to get to that point where you're going to say, hey, I'm just set on one style, this is all I'm going to do, that comes years after, you know, consistently you find in yourself. You build your clientele from a base of where you was learning and they build your trust, and it gets to the point where they come to you from word of mouth, the word of mouth game, not just a social media game. And when you build that trust, the people will just come and say, hey man, I want you to do you. You've been doing this. It's great. Just keep doing what you're doing. And that's where your style gets to play. And that's when you get to kind of so-called trick yourself into saying, yeah, this is all I'm going to do. You work into that groove and you cultivate that. To cultivate that is you done everything that comes through that door for 5 years, probably minimum. You know what I'm saying? And that's dedicating yourself. Is there exceptions? Sure. You know, but on general and as a whole, you got to be real with yourself as an artist.
Gotcha.
And being real with yourself as an artist is always pushing yourself in uncomfortable ways. If you don't wake up every day and do something that doesn't scare you, for me, I have to make a bed. That scares me. That's commitment, you know. But if I get past that and I make a bed, then I got one chore done. I was taught that this past week. I'm a late bloomer.
Doesn't matter as long as you're blooming, baby.
That's
Whether
right.
it's late,
You know,
better late than
growing,
never.
Forever growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm so grateful.
As instead of being a client, as a new artist, I've done what I like that I've been able to draw different styles. I started out when you knew me as a kind of traditional comic booky style. I was doing some things, you know, like this, which was the Marvel style, early 90s at the time, mid 90s. And I've evolved into doing more like some of the more photorealistic pieces, which of course I can't whip those out quick. It takes more time. It's more fine art, if you will. I'm proud that or if somebody comes at me with a cartoon design like I did for The Swarm and stuff like that. I love that I can do a little bit of everything. But I do feel that my black and white portraits, which you've shared with me too, paper is my strongest. Do you feel that out the gate that I should focus on a particular style or try a little bit of everything? I can guess what you would say, but...
You're cheating yourself if you just shoot for one style. You're cheating yourself of so much enjoyment, and you're cheating yourself of maybe stumbling across something that's going to be more real than what you're focusing on.
Yep.
You know, never take away options from yourself. You never know what your intentions are going to bring you.
That's a good point.
You will learn off of so many mistakes. You'll learn more off of mistakes than you will learn off of being 100% every time.
You're right.
You know, and people want to be like, oh, I've done tattoos, I've never messed one up, I've been doing this for a long time. And back in the day, we didn't have fake skin. You know, our brothers that we worked with, the people that were our friends, they came and sacrificed their canvas.
I remember you sharing that you practiced on like orange peels and stuff like that. But
honestly, no, I never really did. I mean,
no?
you can. I mean, you can or whatnot.
Actually, no,
I've
I take it
tattooed
back.
a pumpkin or two over Halloween times just to do it for
that's what I mean.
giggles,
Like,
but I never learned. I straight went, I'm going to tattoo, and I tattooed on a guy one night, and 7 tattoos later, I was tattooing professionally in a shop.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow. I thought that. I wasn't really sure as far as how you progressed and really. Boom.
Yeah, a gentleman was just waiting for me to come to the shop and tattoo, and I had enough one night, and I found a guy, and I just quit working a factory, and I went to go. There was a moment there I didn't do art for a living. I did a couple other things, but I was ready to get back into it after some life changes, and I finally manned up, and I wanted to go do it, and found a guy, and did a tribal tattoo, and here I am, 25 plus
The rest
years.
is history. There you go. That's, I mean, it's interesting what you get into. You don't always set out, but...
Don't cheat yourself.
Yeah. Well,
it goes back to that.
Even when I was asking that last question, I'm like, I just sit here and talked about how I was proud about how my art evolved on paper. Why would I not want to do that on skin?
Absolutely.
That makes sense. You know, learn as much as I can. I might fall in love with something that didn't, but I mean, I feel like it's interesting because I've drawn black and white for so long.
Well, just like you saw me yesterday, I went from that custom piece to doing something I don't do right afterwards.
That's right.
Total change of style.
That, and again,
versatility.
That was just straight up impressive. I've known you for a long time and I respect the hell out of you, but when you told me when I was coming down, hey, I got a good one for you to shoot, that was impressive.
It was a fun piece.
And
good client, good kid.
Both of them. And had a lot of, and you guys are going to see it after this, and being able to do the first time lapse. And I tell you what, watching you watch that time lapse was fun for me. Watching you watch that, because the same thing, like when I'll do my time lapses and things, my girlfriend, she'll watch me when I'm watching the videos, because you're looking at it different than anybody else. And so am I when I see those videos. And when I started doing those time lapse for my pieces, I enjoy the feedback, and it's fun because, I mean, again, it's a great way to get that out there. So again, like you're saying, use technology and social media. But I love seeing it because when I create something and you're working on it for hours and hours and hours, sometimes even weeks or months, you forget, oh, that's right, I did this next. And then I went there. And for people that weren't on our side of it, the feedback I've gotten is it's fun to see it change.
Yeah.
And that was fun for me. Now, being an artist, I could understand as you're going stroke for stroke, I'm seeing it. But when you speed that up, and
the
it's
tattoo
really
process
neat.
itself is time consuming and tedious, and it's one of the most difficult art forms. There's a lot going on. There's so much, there is so much going on outside of the tattoo being done and the moment the tattoo is being done, that people don't realize that the artist has went through like 2,000 procedures before they even got to put a needle inside the skin, you know. With the technology catching up, it makes it nice. The stencils and stuff like that can be made and so quick, and the sizes and the iPads and Procreate.
Yeah, you were saying that.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, that stuff is beautiful, and that gives so many people who don't take art seriously or whatnot a chance to be artists and to experience that taste and for them to enjoy it too. I mean, you have to respect all aspects of it. But it does make it very convenient for us to do what we do and to enjoy that off the skin time to get reduced to the point of perfection too. I mean, time got reduced, but the quality got better. That's usually not something that happens in life.
I hadn't thought about that, but
you know, so that is one aspect that I have to really appreciate. I mean, I hand drew everything up until this last year.
And now you're seeing, what would take hours, you can do in minutes.
Like, like I can do my sketches, and I can do it on a piece of paper, and I can have it printed out just.
You were still doing that, to be fair, a little bit, that, you know, that I saw you, but you were sharing that before, that, you know, that it just saves time. And the beautiful thing that you've learned, and I've learned recently, the digital thing, you can reset and reset and reset and reset. You don't have to crumple up one piece of paper and throw it away.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that.
So I mean, so if people want stencil changes or they want it moved to a different location, it is no trouble at all.
So cool.
We have the equipment to do that, a drop of the dime. It's what you want. You know, we're going to advise you what's best and why we put it where we put it. And you may want it in a certain spot because that's where you see this and that's where you want it.
Right.
You know, we will discuss that with you, but there's usually a rule and flow in how we want to do things. And
well, that's what I was saying. You said talk to the artist.
In your consultation, and you cheat yourself on these moments when you don't come into the shop to talk to an artist and get something set up.
It all comes back to that.
Yeah.
You know, because like you said, you probably get really often, hey, I want this piece here. And then after a little back and forth with your artist, it's going to look better here, or vice versa, or things like that. I'm sure that happens a lot.
For everything, and there's a reason for everything, and you have to go through the procedures to get that.
It's true.
And if people don't understand that, you know, the rule of thumb, if you're not patient, maybe tattoos aren't for you.
I like that.
You know,
it's true.
You know, and it's risky behavior if you're just pushing it and pushing someone just to do something on you for the reason. That's why cover-ups happen. And you know, people forget that it's such a safe environment anymore, that this is risky behavior still.
Yeah, well, you're putting a needle on your body and shooting ink into your skin.
Absolutely.
To not treat that with delicate hands to a degree, well, you can literally hurt people.
Oh, yeah.
So, that makes perfect. I hadn't really thought, but hence all, not only policies, procedures for yourself and for the clients, but there's regulations for safety and everything from biohazard material and all this. There's a real, I mean, barring or moving past just, you know, the fun and the flow and the creativity. There's this has to be done or you're going to get shut down. You know, it's crazy.
The
Regulations.
we really are on top of here is we have so much family coming in and getting tattooed together, and that goes from grandmas to parents to kids.
Last night.
Last night. You know, you've seen it. Cousins, everybody.
Yep.
You know, they're all going to a big family wedding after this. You know, so you have so many people with different ages coming in here. So like blood pressure, blood thinners. You know, we have to watch that, and we have to be on top of that. That is for the protection of our clients.
Oh, if somebody's anemic or something.
Yes, and you know, a lot of times they think we wouldn't know, or if it's not going to make a difference, and they'll sign that paper, and you can ask them. We make it a point, like, you know, are you on any blood thinners or anything we need to know about? Please read this release form. You know, these are health concerns. This is real stuff. And then they're in Florida and they don't think about it, and they go out and maybe they're not going back that day. They go out and get in the sun and they get sunburned on top of something that's already a wound, and they don't think about creating so much more trouble for themselves and what it can lead to.
You touched on that, the aftercare. You know, as far as obviously there's procedures for being an artist, there's procedures for being a client. Aftercare, case in point, if you're going to be not educated and you're going to go out and you're going to be in the sun and things like that, that can't happen here. So
that's one thing that we do. We screen them. We ask everybody, where are you from? You're here on vacation. When do you go back? What's your plans? Are you going to be at the beach? And because back in the day, I can remember, you know, I was an artist up north, and everybody would fly down to Florida and get tattooed, then be swimming in the sun and getting burnt, and then they come back and they're like, I don't know what's wrong with it. And they come back and they try to trash the tattoo artist. Someone did something. Well, man, you went out and, you know. It takes two. It takes two people for a tattoo to be nice, and you know, we have to educate them. So we take that in consideration, and we talk to them. Set up an appointment. Get tattooed the day before you leave. Get all your fun taken care of now. Get it out of your system. Set that appointment. Come in and get it and be safe.
One of the first things you had me do, as far as the design work for social media, but all that, but is the aftercare. You know, to do that, to be fair, I had never, not having any tattoos yet, I had to, that's going to change. I had to, reading over that was educational for me. And that all is, like you say, you know, it's art, it's beauty, it's your soul, like you said, but if you don't take the steps.
Like I said, take care of it, take care of yourself, take care of your art, and this is our art, you know. And
it shows, and it's again, I can't thank you enough for the opportunity, and you guys are going to see some, to steal a quote from the very first Back to the Future, you're going to see some serious shit.
Good times.
It's going to be awesome. You know, before we kind of wrap things, is there anything that you can that's come other than me coming down here and having some fun and blowing some stuff up for you, figuratively? Anything, any changes, anything new and exciting, anything that comes to mind that if not, it's cool?
With the shop?
Yeah, I know you were talking about you had a few things.
Different things are changing. Like I said, we have a new owner, new management now. We're definitely taking a hold and making a stance on as a shop how we're going to be and how we want to be. Changes in the parking lot, changes outside. We're putting a lot of vegetation, a lot of plants out there for people to see.
Nice. Putting
in some flower beds out by the curb across from Rusty Bellies and the seafood. You know, just making little changes like that. We want to be more versatile, more communicative with the people out in the streets and with everybody around us. We put up some cones on the one side of our parking lot to keep cars from coming in and out. It was more of a safety issue, not anything other issue. You know, just our people, we have the murals and we have the art, and so many people are in our parking lot standing, getting pictures in front of the murals. And with people just, you know, so many people in here in the congestion of traffic, they use this as a cut through. And they don't realize the safety that it jeopardizes on our clients and the good people that walk around here just taking pictures and whatnot. You know, it's a busy intersection out there, so we try to keep things on the safe side. But with that being said, we're catering more benches for people to sit down and to relax around. Whether you're a client here or not, feel free to sit down on the benches and
come check us out.
Come check us out. Come see what it is. We're going to put a pagoda in the back of it. We're going to have airbrushing and custom paintings being done out the back there in the parking lot.
Now we're talking.
We're going to have a little bit of music going on, maybe a couple cornhole boards for people to play if they're bored here walking around Tarpon Springs while the women's are getting sponges and soap. But you know, we're going to have fun with it, and we're going to be commutable soon with this, and everything's going to be 100% and going, and we're just getting the groundwork laid out now to get stuff ready for the
That's awesome.
winter time here.
Well, again,
Yeah.
I am honored to be a part of it. Anything I can do, I'm at your service. I understand I'm going to have a learning curve, but I'm excited. I'm excited to be scared.
Hey, there you go.
How about that?
Doing something new.
I'm excited to be scared.
There you go.
And well, that's one thing that you and I have lived, not necessarily the exact same pattern, but we scare ourselves a lot.
Maybe a little
Maybe
too
not,
much.
maybe not as much as we used to, but we still stretch and grow.
Very much.
Maybe that'd be
I scare
more.
myself in doing things that are normal now.
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, we can have a whole show just talking about that.
This is true. We're not going there.
Well, again, I can't be any more excited. You guys have been the driving force behind this too. Everybody out there has been whispering in my ear to do this. I hear you now. I heard you. I'm excited to be able to be a part of the team. I'm excited to be able to contribute. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to fail. How about that?
There you go.
I'm excited to drop the ball. I may have failed an hour before this. You never know. But I don't know if I'm growing unless I'm doing that. And for the first time in a while, I'm excited to say that I'm growing.
There you go.
And on that same note, you know, I've got the new gym coming up with Fighting Shape. I'm going to have a video about that. The video that's going to follow this is the very first episode of INKIN in Paradise, our new show. The show is going to be growing down here too, introducing not only Matt, but introducing, you'll see a couple of the other artists in the video and stuff.
Absolutely.
But really featuring not only you, but the other artists. Me, not until I'm officially an artist, but and again, the community that you have here, featuring everybody, it's just awesome. And it makes my job easy to tell that story. And I can't wait to be a part of it. And on telling stories, my story, The Thirst, which Matt is a character in, known as Wild Ass. There's a lot of stories behind that, but that's a whole nother show too.
Another lifetime.
I've just finished my first full trailer for that. The book has been written, the first book. I'm actually almost done with the rewrite of that. Matt here was with me at the genesis of this story and these characters back when we were in college together and we were playing this. So he's familiar with this world too, and a lot of these characters' names and things are going to be familiar. So having him being a character in the book was easy for me. I've just spent some time really putting together this trailer. Really, before we break here, I want to be able to to watch it with you and enjoy it. This is not original. These are concept trailers where I'm taking other footage and things and being able to put my characters in these scenes so you can really see what it's like. It's a process that I've been learning too, but this is very, very accurate on what my story is going to be like. And I'm excited to debut it here, although it's been on my artwork page for a little while, but on the show here. So sit back, relax for 4 minutes and watch this. So there you go, guys. Again, that's a passion project there too. And the good news for me is being here, not only do I get to do what I'm doing here, but I get to keep pursuing that too by immersing myself in this. It's exciting, humbling. Yeah, I'm excited to do some good stuff.
We're excited to have you.
And you know, I thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Aboard,
so awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Pack. Stay tuned. We're gonna have that episode coming up after this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more stuff from me, more stuff from Marion Creations, Fighting Shape. Obviously, moving down here, I'm gonna have a whole list of new guests to sit down and talk to. Coming in and out of the shop here, coming in and out of the gym. I can't wait to get in front of you guys. I love you all. You guys mean everything to me. Thanks again, brother. I love you.
Awesome.
See you guys soon.
So I came in wanting to get flow gun tattooed on my ribs, and then I saw that they had a gumball machine. So me and my girlfriend were like, let's do that. I rolled it twice. I got a chicken one time, and then I got the heart with the teardrops the second time. I just wanted that guy covered up, but I came in and told him that just do whatever. So he's coming up with this skull. It went all over the place. It's like family here in this tattoo shop. They treat you like you're one of their family members. That's why I keep coming back.
Trying to get the eyes to line up and the cover up, and the proportion and the angle of the face, and keeping it correct seems to be the biggest challenge. But he made it easy, being very versatile with the whatever.
Didn't care.
Which makes cover ups a lot easier when you got someone that's so pliable and easy going. usually goes best out.
Yeah, I'm dedicating this whole right or left hand to my grandfather and my mother. That was in the military. It'll definitely be here, that's for sure.